So just so you know, it's a little disclaimer. I know you want to quit vaping, but you need to know really quickly right now that this also works for weed, alcohol. I don't even care if you're smoking crystal meth. This stuff will work for any kind of drug that you're into. I don't care if you're into heroin, opioids, I don't care. So make sure that you watch the whole video all the way to the end. So you gotta think first, when you get on a medication, and it's a medication that affects your nervous system, your doctor is gonna get you a way to wean off of the medication. He's not just gonna take the medication away from you, right? Any kind of opioid medication, any kind of seizure medication, da-da-da-da-da. Vaping affects your nervous system as well, so why aren't you weaning off of it? Right? Let's say that you go to the doctors and for some reason he prescribes you nicotine to help you with whatever issue you're having, right? You get on the nicotine, you start taking it, okay, the nicotine doesn't work. It's too strong for me, the effects aren't working for my intention of the reason why I'm on nicotine in the first place. Let's say that your doctor gave you a regular dose of like 20 milligrams. Realistically speaking, if you actually just sit down and think about this, your doctor would wean you off of that nicotine as well. If, hypothetically, your doctor prescribed you with nicotine, which probably would not happen unless you need to quit nicotine. But like, let's just hypothetically say, right? Your doctor weans you off the 20 milligrams, he takes you down to 10 milligrams, right? 3 days go by, vaping companies start making this new flavor called, I don't know, blueberry raz kush. I don't know, doesn't matter. But you can only get it in 20 milligrams and not 10. All your friends went out, they bought it. Everyone's like, hitting it. Hey, try this. You're on 10 milligrams though. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Okay, just try the 20 milligram. Head buzz. Hey, can I hit that again? You hit it again. Next thing you know, you're asking your friends if you can keep hitting it, and they're telling you no, you can't hit it. You're being a bum. Quit being a fucking bum. Go out and just buy your own. So then you do, right? You go back to the doctors and your doctor's like, okay, so how's quitting? What, are you still on the 10 milligrams? We're gonna get you down to 0 now. You're like, oh fuck, right? Because you would have actually been down to the 10 and then you would have gotten down to 0, but you're still stuck on the 20, right? Don't be that guy. They are absolutely nuking vapes. You can get high as a kite off of 3 milligrams. So why are they pushing out these super high milligram doses? If I were to get with a doctor and he was gonna prescribe me with a vape, he would not blast me with a nicotine. He would give me a small dose. That whole 20 milligram stuff that I was talking about, that's still way too freaking high. If you were to take a medication like Adderall, you'd start out with a low dose and you wouldn't even know if it's actually working or not. You might experience like some little symptoms and whatnot, but you're not gonna know right away, holy crap, this Adderall is working. You might actually start asking yourself, is this actually working? Am I actually feeling it? I don't know. You're not gonna think about that with nicotine, because it's always nuked. They nuke the nicotine. So realistically speaking, your doctor would never get you on a high dose of nicotine. He wouldn't get you on a dose anything higher than 3, guaranteed, because you know right away, as a non-vapor, if I were to hit a vape, 3 milligrams, I would get head buzz from it. And I would know immediately. I wouldn't be asking myself, am I getting the head buzz? I don't know. You're not gonna get on a dose where you're gonna be utterly messed up to the point where you're super dizzy, like you were just spinning in a chair. So even going from 20 milligrams to 10, that's still a big leap. If you're taking oxycodone, 100 milligrams, God forbid you're taking 100 milligrams of oxycodone, what is the doctor gonna do? Is he gonna wean you off and then he's just gonna cut the dose in half so now you're taking 50 milligrams? No, absolutely not. He'll probably take you down like 5 milligrams a week because 100 milligrams is a huge number. And you need to apply the same rules with nicotine. Nicotine's a fast, powerful drug. You hit it, boom, speed, high, holy crap, head buzz, holy moly, done. You withdraw, holy crap, I'm withdrawing, holy crap, I need a vape. You're gonna have minor withdrawals doing this strategy. You're gonna have withdrawals no matter what, but this is gonna lower your withdrawals a lot. Save up your money and get yourself a refillable vape. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a mod, I don't care if it's a Nord, I don't care if it's one of those Soren drops. Those were the good old days. I don't care if you take Zins, cigarettes, whatever. Switch over to a vape. If you don't like the flavor, suck it up. If you watch this whole video and realize that you can do the same strategy with Zins, then go ahead, I don't care. But sucking it up and forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do, like switching a Zin to a vape, that's your first step of quitting, is doing something that you don't want to do. You want to make yourself a little bit uncomfortable. If you do Zins, then you're probably thinking to yourself, isn't Zins worse for you than vaping though? And if you're asking yourself this question, I want you to slap yourself in the face, because who cares? They're both bad for you. And then this will just refer back to, why do you actually want to quit? Do you actually want to do this? Do you want your brain to be independent again, like when you were a little kid? If you're going to quit anyways, just do the whole vaping strategy temporarily, quit the first time so you don't have to do it all over again. So step 1 to quitting vaping is give up other people's vapes. Only use your vape. You're independent on your own from here on out. If I'm lowering my dose by 5 milligrams every single day, or every single week I'm lowering my dose by 10 milligrams, whatever you end up doing, you're probably going to be going out with your friends, you're probably going to be drinking, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Your friends are going to pull out a vape that's higher than yours, nicotine dosage wise. You're going to see that, you're going to be like, wow, you're going to think to yourself, those vapes are higher than mine. So if I hit their vape, I will get a higher head buzz and it'll feel a lot better. And I'm drinking, so might as well do it, right? Because I'm not going to forget, I'm already blackout drunk, blah, 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 blah. You can't be doing that though. I don't care how drunk you are. You cannot use someone else's vape at all when you're doing this whole quitting process. Something that'll actually make it easier for you is you don't tell anybody that you're quitting anyways. You tell people that you're just trying to wean yourself over to 0. You don't even have to tell them that. You just tell them that it's gross to suck on other people's lips that were touching a vape before you. Step 2, save up your money because you're gonna be buying a lot of vape juices. If you're vaping on 50 milligrams, you're gonna wanna go all the way down to 0, and you're gonna wanna wean yourself off in increments of around 10 milligrams. So you're gonna need 5 bottles of juice. But there's gonna come complications where you can't just go from 10 to 0, right? When you go from 10 milligrams to 0, like I said, 10 is still a really high number though. So you're gonna wanna start mixing the 0 with the 10 to get yourself a good number like 5 milligrams and then 3 and then 1.5 and then 0.8. So stock up on bottles of 0 milligrams, stock up on some bottles of 3s, maybe a little bit extra, because you're going to be mixing your juices. You're also going to need coils too. You're not going to be using anybody else's vape. You're not even going to be borrowing anyone else's coils, because if you're down to 5 milligrams and you borrow someone's coil that has 50 milligrams in it, you're going to be offsetting the juice that you're supposed to be mixing for yourself, because there's that 50 milligram juice in their coil. Make sure you have your own coils. Don't be buying coils off anybody unless they're unopened. And then obviously the same goes for pods. I don't really know what kinds of vapes exist nowadays because it's been 4 years since I vaped. But if you need a switch, if you have one of those disposable breeze vapes, let's say it's like 20 milligrams, then that's the bottle that you're going to start out with is 20 milligrams. You don't want to start out with 50 milligrams because now you're just raising your dosage. You don't need to be doing that. You're trying to quit, not get more into it, right? And then step 3 would be get your refillable vape, switch over from Zins to vape, or those disposable breeze vapes, switch that over to a fillable one. Step 4, lowering your dosage. You got your juices, now you gotta start doing it. Lower them in increments of 10 milligrams like I mentioned. If you're doing 50 milligrams, go down to 40, then 30, and 20. Start with the 50 milligrams or whatever you're starting with. Vape it all up until the juice is out, and then switch over to the 40s, and then do that all the way down to 20 or 25, whatever the lowest it can go. You don't have to do exactly increments of 10. You can kind of adjust to how the bottles are sold. I don't know if they have 25 milligram, 35 milligram, 45 milligram, and then 50 milligram. I don't know if that's how it works, but if so, you can just do it like that, except go reverse style. So 50, 45, 35, 25. Just make sure that it's all the way down to 25 or whatever the lowest dose you have that are salts. Step 5, lowering your dosage down to no salts now. So if you're on no salts, you're probably down to 25. Pretty good. You're gonna wanna switch over to salts now. When they make those mods, they include juice that doesn't have salt in it, so it can produce more clouds or whatever. You can use your salt vape and vape no salts in it. It's just gonna taste a little worse and your coil is gonna burn a little faster. If you're on a budget, you could get away with doing that. I mean, you're gonna quit anyways, why go out and buy a whole mod? And this all ties into the don't get comfortable, right? You don't want to get too uncomfortable though, but you know what I mean. If you do have a mod laying around, I recommend that you use it. It's going to taste very flavorful. Your coils won't burn as quickly. You might actually save money with coils. Depending on how you do it, doesn't matter. It's coil, who the fuck cares? You're going to quit vaping anyways. It's all going in the trash when you're done. 25 was the lowest salt. 12 milligram is the highest no salt. So what I did is I went from 12 to 6 to 3. But if you're in a situation where it's difficult to find 12 milligrams or 6 milligrams or whatever, just make sure that you can get a bottle of 0. If you have a bottle of 0, you can quit off a bottle of 0, Nick. You can use ChatGPT now too. I didn't have this opportunity. You could get a bottle of 50 milligram juice. You could probably tell ChatGPT how you want to do it, and then ChatGPT will just tell you how to do it yourself. So you don't have to do any of the math. You can just talk to ChatGPT and then it'll help you do it. And I believe ChatGPT is free. So step 6, we're getting on to some big numbers now. I gotta use 2 hands. Step 6 is from getting you to 3 milligrams to 0 now. This is the part where you're gonna wanna start mixing your juices no matter what, because 3 to 0 could still be a lot. The increments that I like to do while mixing it is, obviously I like to vape all 3 milligrams for a little bit, couple days, and then I like to put in a quarter of the tank full of 0. All right, I'm gonna do that for a couple of days as well. A couple days go by, I'm ready to lower my increments a little bit more. Now I'm gonna do 2 quarters or a half a tank. So I'm splitting it 50-50, 0 nicotine and 3 nicotine, which is giving me 1.5 milligrams. Next quarter full, 3 milligrams will get you, bang, 0.75 milligrams of nicotine that you're getting now. Now you're getting really low. You're getting under the 1. Every time you fill it up, just put a little bit less of that 3 in it. Every time you fill it up, just put a little bit less of the 3. Every squeeze you do, make it 1 less squeeze a day. Or every drop, 1 less drop a day. Whatever you want to do, tailor it down to how you want to do it. So if you want to count how many drops you're putting in it or how many squeezes that you put in it, I don't care. Just do less and less every single day until you get to 0 milligrams. Step 7, congratulations, you just quit nicotine, but you're still vaping though. So you're on 0 milligrams, you got rid of the nicotine addiction, now you got to get rid of the hitting addiction, which is pretty basic. Just track as many times as you hit your vape every single day, and then every single day just take 1 less hit. Every 2 days, take 1 less hit. Every week, take 1 less. I don't care, just stay consistent with it. I remember when I went to 0, I actually doubled the amount of hits that I took because I didn't have any nicotine in it, so I was really craving my hits. I can actually vividly picture the taste that I was getting in my head. Wow, that's weird. But yeah, just go all the way down to 1 hit a day. Once you're at 1 hit a day, if you're taking 1 hit a day, take a smaller one. Every single day, just go a little smaller. Step 8, congratulations. Now you've quit vaping 100%, but I'm gonna add in this little step right here. This is actually a difficult part. You don't wanna keep your vape on you for over a week when you quit, right? You can quit, you can keep it on you for a few days just in case you relapse and you don't wanna waste money. But once that 1 week is up, you need to get rid of that vape. Make sure that you know it's gone and you can't get it back. That is like the goodbye stage of it all, and that's a really good stage to be in. I remember I felt really good when I destroyed my vape, and I think everyone should go through that in their life if they ever quit. And here's a bonus tip. Make sure you do a lot of tracking. I don't care if you use your notes app on your phone or your little notepad or some kind of notebook, but just make sure that you're tracking everything too. If you're not tracking everything, you might forget what milligram that you're supposed to be taking, and then you can set yourself back. So there you go. You know what you need to do. Now make it happen.